why I went from gaming on console for my whole life to joining the PC race. Now, let's just take it back a little bit to where everything started. So I started with a Game Boy, a DS, and my first ever home console was the Nintendo GameCube. And I have fond memories. I played Sonic Heroes, I played Star Fox Adventures, Need for Speed Underground 2, Naruto Clash of a Ninja, Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Gale of Darkness, I think it's called Gale of Darkness. And yeah, like I've played those games on the Nintendo GameCube as my first ever console. You know, I had a blast. That was like maybe 2000 and like 4-ish, 5-ish, before the 360 and PS3 came out. So then the Xbox 360 came out in 2006 and I didn't get it launch day. I got it probably like 2 years later. So between 2008 and 2009 is when I got my first Xbox 360. And you know, I played games like Far Cry 3, Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, Halo, Call of Duty, Dead Rising. Like I played like a lot of games during the 360 era. I've never owned a PS3. I never owned a Nintendo Wii U. It was just Nintendo GameCube, Xbox 360, Xbox One when the Xbox One came out. The only reason why I stayed on Xbox in general was for Halo and Gears of War. Like that was the only reason why I never, you know, shifted to PlayStation. Before 2020, I got my first ever PlayStation 4. And I'm not gonna lie, I wish I never sold my first PlayStation 4 because I bought it off my friend, and it was like the 100 million. I don't know. It was the blue one. I'll post a picture here. And the first games I've ever played on PlayStation was Spider-Man, Days Gone, The Last of Us Remastered because I never played it on the PS3 version, and Uncharted 4. And I ain't gonna lie, like I've missed out so much on PlayStation exclusives that I was like, since I had a PS4 for barely a year, and the PS5 was coming out and the PS5 was backwards compatible, I was like, you know what, the Series X is coming out because I want to be able to play, you know, the games that I like playing on the Xbox, which I bought Xbox games on digital. I bought a lot of Xbox games and I just want to, you know, just transfer them over. So I bought the Series X and the PS5 at the same time in 2020. And if I can never go back, I wish I never did. I wish I moved to PC. All my friends after the 360, a majority of them shifted to PC. And yeah, so I got my PS5 for the play. I literally have a PlayStation, or had, I don't have it anymore, but I only had a PlayStation specifically for exclusives. The Last of Us, Uncharted, and whatever, God of War, Horizon. Like a lot of PS4 games, I never got to play them. I played them on the PS5, and some of them had like the PS4 Pro enhanced, like the 60 FPS and whatnot. And that was my PlayStation 5. So I only had a PlayStation 5 for exclusives. That's it. My Series X was everything, was my Xbox exclusives and my third-party games. I played everything on my Xbox, and I have a lot of games on there. I had disc, I had digital, everything. And then came a time around 2024, and I'm starting to notice the new games that are coming out on Xbox or on PlayStation, and well, not PlayStation, Xbox, that most of the new games that are coming out, why are they still locked at 30 FPS? Like I got the new console with a gaming TV. Like my TV is the LG Nano Cell, and it can run 4K up to 120 FPS. So it has a 120 hertz HDMI port, HDMI 2.0. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to play all these games in 60 FPS and up. And then we see games coming out at 30. Some games can barely hit 30, barely 40. And I'm like, why is this happening? Like we paid $500 for this console. So 500. I paid about $1,000. No, plus my TV, 1,500 for these consoles and this TV just for me to play in high FPS with when games barely hit freaking 60. And it came to a point where I went to my friend's house one day. He invited us over and he had a PC setup. You know, he has his monitors and his table, and I'm like, this looks kind of cozy. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm like, you know what? I told my friend, because they have all tried to get me to, you know, convert to PC, and I had a friend that knows a lot of, you know, about PC parts and whatnot, and I told him, look, I need your help to help me build my PC. And he gave me the rundown. He's like, how much you're supposed to spend? I'm like, I don't want to spend like 2,000, but I'll spend maybe 15 and up a little bit, because if I was gonna go on PC, I was gonna go all out. Like I'm not gonna buy something that that's, you know, that's not next gen, you know what I mean? Like I want to be able to play next gen games on my PC without me, you know, buying another GPU in a couple years, which I currently have a 4070 and it runs perfect. I like all my games, I'm hitting 110 and up depending on my settings. I don't really play on ultra unless it's like campaign. I am playing games at the performance that I want with this GPU. The CPU, don't remember what kind, but my friend helped me get all the parts. We both went to Micro Center. We all bought it. I still have my receipt, so if I can take a picture of it, I'll post it here. And yeah, and then we built the PC from ground up, and that was mid 2024. So for me to build this PC, I mean, I need money. So I'm like, you know what? I'm about to sell my whole Xbox catalog. So I sold my Xbox Series X. I sold all my physical games because there are some games that I had for collection purposes that I already owned digital. So I sold all of that, and the only console I kept was my PS5. So I sold all my Xbox games, and you know, I was selling, I would buy and resell. There are like things that I buy and resell like as a hobby, and I did all that, and I finally got enough to build this PC without paying much out of my pocket. And that was all mid 2024. Now, towards the end of 2024, I start to notice that PlayStation is dropping their games on PC after 1.5 years. Now I'm like, and my PlayStation 5 will stay put collecting dust for months and months. I only play an exclusive, maybe like a good 8, 10, 12 hour game, and that's it. I won't touch it. I won't play anything on it. I don't even have PS Plus. I just play single player games on it. When I noticed that one of my favorite games from the PS5 generation is Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy Rebirth. Once I found out that they're coming to PC, I'm like, I could have just waited like a year, maybe a year and a half. Like God of War Ragnarok is on PC. Horizon Forbidden West is on PC. The Last of Us Part 1 is on PC. Final Fantasy 16 is on PC. Final Fantasy Rebirth is on PC. And you know, the games are just gonna keep coming to PC. So I'm like, why should I spend so much money on consoles when I can just have PC? And also I want to start streaming and recording videos, and doing it from a console is kind of annoying. So I'm like, why can't I just do it all on this PC and just have it all in one? Also emulators is really cool. I like playing games on original hardware, so that's why I still have them. Like the Xbox 360 and a PS3. I do have a PS3, you know, for the PS3 exclusives, and I do have the emulators on my computer, and you know, I just have it like for testing. It'd be cool if I have it on there. And yeah, so I moved to PC because I've been seeing games are running bad on console. They don't really have the best graphics, and any game that comes out that's a remaster, the original PC version is already the remastered. You know what I mean? So people will spend extra money for a remastered version when you can just buy the PC version of the game if it comes out on there and already have the updated, optimized, remastered version. So all in all, you save more money. Save more money going on PC. And I think from now on, I think it's best for people to go on PC if they want to play like, you know, high performance games and whatnot. I do still have consoles. I have an Xbox 360 just for nostalgia, and I recently bought a Series S only because I want to have a home console, so when I have friends over or family members from different states, they can come over and, you know, we can just play games, you know, on my TV. And I bought the Series S for $170 off Facebook Marketplace, which was a bargain. And I bought it right after the price hike. Now a Series S is worth $380 retail. I'm like, you know what? Let me just find one right now before the sellers find out and they hire the prices. So I bought it for $170 with the controller and all the wires, and you know, I'm set. I'm chilling. So yeah, so that's how I converted to the PC race. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.